If a property is being sold by private sale, so that is any property which isn't going to auction, the key thing that you need to understand is the agent's offer process. Now, there's no rules which dictate how the agent needs to handle offers, and every agency is different. So in some cases, there might be a set sale date, which is a deadline for offers to be submitted by, or in other cases, the sale will be triggered when they received an offer which is at an acceptable level to that vendor. Either way, you need to clarify the sale method with the agent, which includes asking questions around timeframes, how the offers will be presented to the vendor, if the offers will be disclosed to other buyers, and importantly, make sure the agent knows if you have interest so you can be kept updated throughout. All too often, I see buyers downplaying their interest because they think that will help them with their negotiations, but then they're surprised to not get a phone call when the property sells. Submitting an offer can be done via an email and a text or verbally, but in many cases, the agent will ask for an offer on a contract, which is the most serious type of offer and carries the most weight in a negotiation. This is because if the vendor signs your offer, the contract is then executed and enforceable. It is absolutely essential to get our contract reviewed by a legal professional, and I always recommend doing this before we submit an offer. Different states will have different requirements around what needs to be included and disclosed in the contract, but the onus is on you as a buyer to do all of your due diligence and to engage your own professionals to make sure you're protected. Now, an offer needs to contain our price, our terms and conditions. So the price is obvious, but we've also got our settlement date, any goods which are included with the property, our changes to any special conditions in the contract, and also if our offer is subject to anything. So for example, subject to finance or subject to a building inspection. What being subject to or conditional upon means is if that condition isn't satisfied within the time frame you put on it, then you can withdraw from the contract with no penalty. So for example, if you're subject to finance for 2 weeks and your finance gets rejected by the bank, you can then exit that contract and any deposit you've paid gets returned. There's always a time frame on these conditions. Now make sure that everything is documented in the contract. If it's not in there, it's not enforceable. Most contracts will state that all fixtures and fittings are included. If it's not written in, make sure to write this in. Fixtures and fittings are anything which is attached to the property. So if we turn the property upside down and shook it, it's the stuff which doesn't fall out. So it's like our curtains, our oven, maybe our split systems. But if there's anything else which you expect to be included, or the agent says it's included, like the little shed in the yard or the barbecue, make sure to write this into your offer. Or if the agent says that you can have access prior to settlement or the vendor is going to fix something, this also needs to be clearly written into the contract as a special condition. Remember, with private sales, we also might have a cooling off period, so make sure you understand the time frame and the penalties involved depending on your state. But ideally, we don't ever want to be relying on a cooling off period, and we should be doing all of our due diligence up front.